One day I'm gonna be everything I wanna be. I don't let it get the most of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be everything I'm gonna be. My future right in front of me. One day I'm gonna be free. I wanna be free. Then let me be free. From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges. A host with a fire burning in his soul. With a heart of steel and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar, insane wheels rise as a force to be reckoned with. Fueled by the power that only metal can bestow. He takes his stand, refusing to submit. Insane wheels hear his battle cry. A metal mayhem that will never die. With engines roaring, he paves his way. A legend in the making, day by day.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got a humongous morning ahead of us. We always seem to. Let's get it. All right, so we're going to be looking at Trump responds to Iran halt, as some of you guys may have found out from the social media or normal mainstream. The House of Representatives here in the United States, the U.S. side, they put a halt to this war. And now here's the thing. Yes, of course, they did put this halt on, but it will be up to Trump to decide basically to kind of override it. Now, I know that's a crazy term to use, and no, he theoretically can't override certain things, but there's other things that he can do to be able to still do what he's doing. So that's the magic of politics. It's all theatrics. Anyways, then we have Vance speaks, I guess today, as well as Bessent testifies. What we're actually going to be looking at, though, first, so let's go ahead and give you guys a chronological breakdown of timeline of what we're going to be discussing this morning. First, we're going to be discussing a bit about that hostage situation over there in Bakersfield. We broke that story yesterday, and now there's a report from police. FBI fatally shoots Bakersfield hostage taker, and now all the hostages have been, they're freed. So we have DHS Secretary Mullen testimony paused after tense exchange. There was a tense exchange yesterday. We're going to watch that together, actually. And then there was another super tense situation with Marco Rubio in his testimony yesterday. It says, Rubio gets into screaming match, quote, practice what you preach. Brutal. And then, of course, we got Trump delivers remarks in the Oval Office. This is 17 hours ago, that part. So I don't know if he's exactly, right there responding to the whole thing, but we do have Trump reacting later about the whole House of Representative decision on Iran. So then House votes to halt war and rebukes Trump on Iran. So it says, we are learning more this Wednesday, which was obviously yesterday, as the House passed a war powers resolution that aims to halt U.S. military action against Iran. The move comes as a major rebuke to President Donald Trump, as a handful of Republicans joined with Democrats to push for an end to the 3-month-long war in the Middle East. House Speaker Mike Johnson has tried to prevent an outcome that would show the mounting opposition to the war, abruptly shutting down floor action 2 weeks ago when the war powers resolution was on the verge of approval. But displeasure has only grown as the conflict drags on and as Trump struggles to negotiate a quick resolution. I think that we all kind of saw that coming a little bit, but it is interesting watching how people on the right are flipping and saying, we shouldn't be there right now. We need to end this. Nonetheless, we got California tech CEO charged with supplying Iran. Now, this actually came out in the news quite a while ago. I would say about a week ago. I did see this going around, but now we're getting some more information about it. So we've got the clip for you guys, as well as Israel and Lebanon agreed. They agreed to renew ceasefire with pilot zones. That's what they're calling it, by the way. And but what will be interesting about that is it Israel and the Lebanese government, or is it Israel and Hezbollah? See, that's the distinction there. And I can guarantee you it's going to be the Lebanese government, right? And now it's up to the Lebanese government to really kind of get their terror group under control, right? The resistance group. Then we have Trump to nominate Todd Blanche as permanent attorney general, and that did happen. It's confirmed. He is now going to be the permanent attorney general. So we have that for you guys as well. And then last but not least, Trump reacts after military action halted in Iran. So we do have his remarks, at least maybe a post, maybe his remarks. We'll see. It looks like it's a post from what I can see on my side. Anyways, real quick, let's go ahead and before we get into the madness, make sure you guys hit that like button, double tap that screen if you guys are on the vertical side, and hit that subscribe button. This is what we do Monday through Friday. And of course, we have Saturday morning for members only, man. It's a good time. Speaking of members, please consider becoming a member, starting only at $3.99 a month. Making sure we're not breaking the bank out there with anybody, but check it out. This is what allows us to be on these airwaves as well as have these lights on. So thank you guys for becoming members and staying members. Little side note here, follow my Instagram at BallValveTV, where I post everything behind the scenes of not only my life, but as well as the show, Millennial Food Time, breaking news, as well as politics, man. Anyways, and also we have a Discord server for all of you legends, by the way. Video description down below. We have the invite link for you guys. That's where we love to continue the conversation because we're only on here for about an hour and a half max. And last but not least, man, all super chats, super stickers, gifted memberships, and membership signups are, of course, all going to be presented live onto the show and shouted out. But if you guys like to skip that YouTube 30% brutal cut that they take from your hard-earned cash, we have these platforms that are scrolling around the screen. At any time, you can donate to those, and I get 100% of the proceeds. And, of course, I'll read out loud anything that comes our way, just like a normal super chat. So we've got our email up and running, so we're scanning. Real quick, I'd love to give a special shout-out to Motorbomb Virginia, as well as the coffee crew for giving a beautiful raid to us this morning. I really appreciate that. Always appreciate that. Carney, Sick Bastard, you got the whole crew over there. Old Mac, it's awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and say hi really quick, and then we've got to get into this. We got a lot, as you guys heard already. Let's see, I'm scrolling. Wow, a lot of you guys in here. We got Virginia Chaos, good morning to you. We got Dark Soul, as well as PJ, good morning. We got Rapid F Chaos, as well as Pops, good morning. I heard that, well, I saw that you said you're super busy this morning, but I'm not missing the news. I very much appreciate you, by the way. We got Easy Frank, as well as Steve Easy. Good morning to you, you gentlemen. We're scrolling down as fast as humanly possible. We got Cameron, as well as Roger. Good morning to you guys. We got Steve Posey. Always appreciate you guys. Naomi saying, hit the like, y'all. Absolutely. Double tap that screen, too, if you're on the vertical side. Motorbomb Virginia, good morning. Always appreciate you guys as well. We got Sick Bastard. Yes, sir. And No Grow up there in Canada land. We got Big Dan as well. Vanguard Critters, good morning. We got Dean Savage up there, or over there in Israel. Good morning to you, as well as Brother So Loud from the Boondocks in North Carolina. Shout out, as well as TNT. All right, guys, let's go ahead and get into the craziness. We're going to start off with this plea coming from the police. FBI fatally shoots Bakersfield hostage taker. Now, we just presented this whole story yesterday, and we didn't have any updates for you guys. We just showed you guys kind of the live scene and what was actively happening, but that's all we had. Here we go.
Welcome back to Live Now from Fox. I'm Stephanie Quinu. We are continuing to follow some breaking news out of California as the Associated Press has shared that
what's up, EF? Good morning.
According to Bakersfield police, a man holding hostages in a California building has been shot and killed by the FBI. This standoff taking hours now. I did want to share some video from just a little bit earlier, as you can see a very active scene and a little bit more information. As
more active than we last saw it, by the way. And real quick, we got Mr. Jack Telcott. Shout out to you, by the way. day, and blessings to you.
A man holding hostages inside a building in California that houses a bank branch and a school district.
Well, it's Chase, a bank branch. They just call it Chase Bank.
Office has been shot and killed by the FBI. Again, that's according to Bakersfield police. The suspect was killed in a, quote, officer-involved shooting involving FBI personnel. So that is a statement by the Bakersfield Police Department that they shared just moments ago, saying that the standoff ended about 12 hours after police were called to the building. All the hostages are free and none were harmed. That's also according to police. Now, the standoff in
I'm glad that nobody got hurt.
downtown Bakersfield started yesterday afternoon when
No innocent people got hurt, I should say.
officers responded to a call of a bomb threat at the Chase Bank building in that location. Bakersfield police say the man barricaded himself inside with several people. 2 were released yesterday after negotiations with authorities. Nearby buildings, including City Hall and the police headquarters, were evacuated, and some roads were also temporarily closed during this hostage situation. Officers, they established a perimeter around this area. They asked the public to stay away, and after that, the police department's crisis negotiating team was in contact with the suspect.
The crisis negotiating team. Wow.
By phone, saying, quote,
I didn't know that's what they called it.
we have every single resource at our disposal out here to bring this to the safest resolution as possible. So we did want to share that update as the standoff took place yesterday afternoon. That's when it all started. You can see that officers were there at the scene.
I very much appreciate that, Big Dan, by the way. It definitely goes a long way with me.
Very active standoff, SWAT team situations, and a negotiator with the crisis team was able to speak with the suspect, the FBI, though, killing him after he held those hostages inside the building. All of the hostages, though, are currently free and no one was injured. Any additional information?
And then, of course, yes, we'll follow anything. That's what we do. Anytime we present something, we do our best to follow the situation and give you guys the facts. All right. Speaking of following situations, we have DHS Secretary Mullen testimony paused after tense exchange he had yesterday. Now, there was a couple of tense exchanges between not only him, but also with Marco Rubio yesterday in their hearings. So we got both those clips for you guys back to back. Let's go ahead and do it. Let's go ahead and show Mullen first.
Your predecessor is no longer here. She disgraced this department. And it seems like you are
talking about Tulsi Gabbard
following right in her footsteps. Under your leadership,
that is not true. Don't accuse me of something that's not true.
Without food.
Sir, you can say all you want, but don't accuse me of something that's not
What's up, Miss Lotus? Good morning to you, by the way.
You can sit there and tell lies all day long, and all it is a lie.
Gentlemen's time.
That's a flat-out lie. You know it's a flat lie. That's a lie.
What's up, Jack?
That's a lie.
The gentleman's time is expired. We will.
You know that's a lie. That's a lie. You know it's a lie.
Secretary, please, everyone.
Oh my God, stop being gay about it.
Why are you gay?
We will continue.
I'm talking about not Mullen. I'm talking about everyone calm down. Everyone settle down.
To do this hearing like we have done the ones in the past.
Listen to him.
I'm asking everyone, please, questions, answers. Do not attack each other's characters. That is something that is a violation of House rules. So, no attack.
I did not.
Secretary's character. No, I did.
Which I do agree with that, by the way. You know, attack the argument, not the person.
Did not attack his character, Mr. Chairman.
I'm just saying the statement is for everyone.
Simply stated facts about the department.
What I'm saying right now
is not a fact. You can't point to a single fact that's accurate.
Wait.
Mr. Chairman, I think the point is, if the witness is not addressing a question, but making a statement, that's
oh my God, spit it out.
A few moments later.
I hate when someone fucking interrupts to speak so fucking slowly because they're not even, they don't have their thoughts collected either.
not a question. He shouldn't be allowed to ask.
The point is, we've had these hearings before. This is not the first time we've had a secretary in front of us.
No shit.
Members know how we do things around here since I become chairman. I'm trying to keep a lid on this. Members will ask questions. They know there are rules. You cannot attack other members. You cannot, questions can only be directed to me or the witnesses. Witnesses will answer the questions.
Oh my God. Just let them go already.
When a member reclaims their time,
You get it.
the The witness should give back that time. Nobody should be going after anyone's character.
Dude, Cameron, it's lame. These guys get like, they overly play it up. Like, yeah, all you need to do is tell them, settle down. No more personal attacks. We ain't doing that shit here. Boom, move it on. That's all you need to say. This guy's making a whole fucking, get off your soapbox.
That is not how we do things. We will get back on track here. Again, questions,
That's
answer,
right,
questions,
TNT.
answer. This is not the first time. We are going to keep a lid on this hearing today. And when a member asks a question, they get to ask their question. The witness gets to answer it. They can't direct how the witness answers it. They can reclaim their time. They cannot tell the witness what to say. The witness is here and gets to answer the question.
I got a question.
Why are you gay? You are gay.
That is asked. If the member does not like the answer and wants to get another question in before their time is expired, they can reclaim their time, and I will enforce that.
Okay.
But
Cool.
they can't be upset. And I don't want people talking over each other. That has been happening quite a lot today.
Oh my
So
God.
again,
Warland,
rules of decorum.
what's up, my man? Good morning.
Members will ask questions. Witnesses will answer the question.
Why is he still
Member doesn't
going?
like, if they want to get on to something else, they can reclaim their time.
Oh my God.
Mr. Chairman, the only point I'm trying to make is the witness is interrupting the members in the midst of asking their question. And just direct the witness, just hold whatever he has to say until the question is asked, not interrupt the question being asked.
Yes, and I understand that, and I think what the secretary was doing there was just pointing out that he was familiar with the case, with the answer. And I think he did clear that up, but of course, questions asked, answered. So everybody, we're going to move forward now.
Yeah, Virginia Chaos, that's going to be the hard part for me as well. You know, situations like this, you know, I'm thinking about like, what if I was sitting there kind of thing? I'd just be like, buried, my head would just be buried into my fucking, the palm of my hand. I just, in disbelief, right? I mean, all of the government from top to bottom is bullshit. All of it. From top to the very bottom to your local governments, all that shit. And I would say that your local governments actually have a little bit more impact on someone like ourselves, you know, in our direct lives, right? But all the way down to the smallest level, it's all bullshit. It's all a club. That's all it is. It's one big fucking club. And it's all cliquey inside of it. It's very odd. Anyways, it's all bullshit. This is theatrics as it gets. I mean,
And now
this is what they do.
the gentleman from Arizona, Mr. Crane, for 5 minutes of questions.
Okay, and then they move on from there. All right, so let's go ahead and bring up Marco Rubio's exchange now. It looks like there was an actual heated exchange. That last exchange was not heated, and that shit was fucking whack. Anyways.
$8 billion slush fund. And I think that's corruption. The American people think that's corruption. They want to know if you think that's corruption.
Okay. Number two, this goes right to the point of
What's up, Kerry? Good morning to you, kind sir.
transparency. You're absolutely wrong about the way the money flows. It's pretty straightforward, and I'll share.
So I'm going to have to reclaim
So
my
when-
time again because
well, then,
the
what kind of
question about
process is this? They get to
corruption-
ask
the
questions and you don't get to
question about-
answer?
It's my time. The question
I don't know
about
about you. When
corruption
is it
is
my
really
time?
important.
So why am I
because
here if I don't
you
get to answer
can't
your
call
questions
out
or your
I'm
defamatory statements?
reclaiming my time,
Reclaim.
Mr.
I want
Chair.
you to, but I want to reclaim. Well, do I get time?
This
you
is
made
my
these
time.
W Marco, he's like, well, then do I get freaking time? I want to claim my time back. And that's very true, Steve Posey. You guys are within my clique. That's true. That's true. By the way, I see you in here. David, good morning to you, David Thompson. Hopefully you're enjoying your Friday Eve as well.
Defamatory
Mr. Chair.
statements and no one can talk here.
If
This
you
is crazy.
can't call out corruption in this country,
Boomer.
then how can you call it out in another
I can't say
country?
anything 'cause you
That
won't
is
let me
the
speak.
question. It is about credibility and your credibility. And your credibility meter is on empty right now. This
See,
oil.
these guys
who
just get to talk and I don't get to
who
answer?
determines the barrels of oil that get
Why-
sold? How
but you
many
won't
of
let
them?
me
At
answer your
what
question. I
price
have an
does it
answer
get
for your
sold?
question.
Where is it going?
I get
What I hate is when you get people that are asking questions, but they're not actually asking questions. Obviously, this chick has just asked about 5-6 different questions, and she's not actually wanting the answer. She's asking questions to paint a narrative. It's typical. it's very, very typical of the left, by the way, to shotgun a whole bunch of questions, and be able to barrage you with that shit. And that's something that I'm glad that Marco's calling out. He's like, well, can I freaking give you an answer here? Can I give you an answer? Obviously, you don't want the answer, right? So anyways.
I will
They
let
have to
you.
use their time for me to answer
The
your
onus
question.
is on you to
joke.
prove that there is no corruption happening.
Yes, Texas Gidget. Grandstanding.
How
Exactly.
do
That is
prove it if
your
you don't let me talk?
responsibility as the Secretary of State. And you know what? Normally, we would have access to that data. That's the
You do. You
transparency.
just don't know where
but
to
you're
look.
not showing us any receipt. Well, then show us.
But
Do
you
you
won't.
commit? Do you commit to coming back here with whoever the person is who is monitoring the
That's like her 7th question in 1 minute and 20 seconds, by the way.
sales of the oil? Bring them before this committee.
Can I
Show the
reclaim my
receipts.
time?
Have the documentation. You don't have this time yet. I am talking about your credibility and evidence, not your talking points, because talking points are never a replacement for transparency
I agree,
and
but that's what you're saying. You're saying
documentation.
talking
And
points
we
without an
have not-
answer.
We are 5 months into this and no audits. Zero visibility into the
100%
contracts that are
false.
awarded.
100%
Zero
false.
transparency about where the money is going.
Yeah, Irvine, I don't know how I'd handle that either. To be honest, I'd just be like, I'm just gonna, what's the point of me being here if I'm not allowed to respond to this fucking bitch?
Representative Salazar is recognized.
Yes. And giving contracts with no transparency
Can I
is
borrow your
exactly the
time to
reason why
answer?
you shut down USAID. So practice what you preach. I yield my
Oh,
time.
she gets the screen.
I give you my time.
Now too.
Chairman,
Scream
can
and
we
shout.
take down her words?
I'll give you some time. I'll give
Yeah.
you some of my time. Let me just,
Okay.
just
Oh God,
change
what
the
kind of thing
energy.
is this? What is this?
Yeah, exactly,
You get
Marco.
asked
What is this? She just asked me 22 questions and I'm not allowed to respond to not a single one of them.
questions for 5 minutes and you don't get time to answer. It's not a hearing.
Right.
You said clown
Like
show
a dunk
before.
tank.
I
What
don't-
is
I don't
this?
have-
A dunk
I
tank?
don't-
Yeah, yes, exactly. What is this? A dunk tank? Oh shit! Oh shit! That was a good reply on that too.
I'll
I've
give
even
you
used
ti-
their time. How can I answer the question? They don't even give me time. I've had to use their time to answer your questions.
Yes.
All right, whatever.
All
She
right,
said
so
yes.
I don't need to tell you that in my community, the city that I represent, the city of Miami, you're one of the most illustrious representatives, and that we're very proud of you, not only the Cuban Americans, but the Hispanic Americans in my
Why is she
community.
leaving? I'm
So
going to answer her questions.
I will-
Right. Yeah.
Oh.
So she just wanted to paint a narrative, and then as soon as she was done with her round of questions, she got up and just started to leave. I mean, seconds after she did this, seconds while they're still deliberating if he's allowed to fucking respond on it. She's like, okay, I've got my narrative out. I'm out. I did what I needed to do for the Democrats.
representatives, and that we're very proud of you, not only the Cuban Americans, but the Hispanic Americans
Hell yeah, that's a W, Mr. Al Patterson.
in my
Why is she
community.
leaving? I'm
So
going to answer her questions.
I will.
Oh, okay, I got it. Well, thank you for coming.
Damn. Wow. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. Trump delivers remarks in the Oval Office. Now, this came out from yesterday. We do have the latest update regarding him, regarding Trump reacting after the military action halted in Iran by the House of Representatives. But we got to do everything in chronological time. So in chronological order. Let's first bring this up. We'll see what Trump had to say yesterday in the Oval Office, and then we'll get into his post regarding the reaction later.
Union Station was horrible, and now it's beautiful. It was all covered in graffiti. But this would be the big one, because this is, again, could you get me that picture of how it compares in size to the biggest buildings anywhere in the world? It's sort of amazing. So we're very proud of that. We're proud of a lot of things we've done, but this is something. So Washington now, as you know, a very safe city. It's considered a very safe city. It was a very unsafe city 14 months ago. Now it's a very safe city. So we're very proud of that. But it's also become a beautiful city. The encampments, the homeless are no longer sitting in the middle of the park. The level of beauty of the city is incredible. We regressed many of the areas. We're really doing a job at Lafayette Park, which is really the entrance to the White House. And that's going to be completed very shortly. It'll be incredible, as it was originally envisioned. Most of it we're doing as originally envisioned. And if you walk across the street to Lafayette Park, you'll see something that's incredible. It's going to be, we'll have it open before July 4th. We wanted to get it open before July 4th. On the reflecting pond, or the reflecting pool, as some people call it, very important to us was the longevity, having it
I really don't give a fuck about none of that shit, to be quite real. I do care about other shit, though. So let's see what... Look at this. He actually pulled out... Our pool is bigger than skyscrapers.
Including the Empire State Building, World Trade Center, Sears Tower, Chicago. So if you lay it on its side, you take 2 or 3 of them to fill it in, because the width is almost 200 feet wide.
Thank you, Big Dan. Appreciate that.
Actually, much more than 2,000, close to, including everything, it's about 2,500 feet in length to the end. And it's going to be beautiful. It was a great concept that never worked because they couldn't hold the water. Now they hold the water for a tiny fraction of the cost. We did a fantastic job. And Department of Interior was amazing. Doug Burgum, really absolutely amazing. And you can have something you're going to be very proud of, and it'll last for 50 to 100 years before you have to do anything with it. Very strong, powerful substance that we use. And we picked a color called American Flag Blue. We had color choices. Then before it was just gray, it was a color of concrete and stone. So it's going to be really special. I thought you'd like to see it.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Now, can we get into some actual shit? That'd be great. Why can't we hear him now?
When it tried to get the walking in between was disgusting. The thing was loaded up. We took 11 or 12
export rules, the tariffs, to literally undermine American businesses. And we're going to put a stop to it in the same way. We're going to increase the amount of data we have so that we can actually make conscious decisions about who and what comes into this country. And we're going to start holding people accountable. So we're literally going to use the rules that are in place to a certain extent and then make some recommendations for legislation going forward. We're going to start holding trade accountable for bringing
who the fuck is that guy?
Things and threatening products into our country, just like we have on the rest of the border. So Customs and Border Protection gets a lot of attention for the border wall, everything else. This is going to be basically the equivalent in the trade environment.
And sir, you did a miracle when you came in. You shut that border down in a matter of days.
Yeah, we know all those things.
Remember the Democrats, I call them. But the Democrats said the wall doesn't do anything. I said, no, walls work. 2 things, everything else is obsolete. It gets obsolete quickly. 2 things, wheels and walls. They've been here for a long time. A wheel and a wall, you'll always have. Other things, your computer's going to be obsolete about 2 days after you buy it. But wheels and walls, they work. And we built an incredible wall that stretches more than 1,000, think of it, 1,000 miles. And without that, we would not be as successful. Actually, we're building now additional areas because we need some additional.
Yes, by the way, you guys don't have to love or like anything that's going on around the world or right here in this nation. But you guys can hit that like button for me and what we do here on Insane Wheels. Make sure you guys double tap that screen if you guys are on the vertical side. I very much appreciate it.
Well, certain areas. But we had millions of people, 25 million people. I think it's more than that, but 25 million people came in during the Biden years, the Biden disasters. And we stopped that. We stopped it down to 0. Hard to believe, but the numbers come out. Every month they come out 0, 0, 0. People don't come anymore because they know they're not going to get through. So we had caravans with 10, 15, 20, 25,000 people coming up from countries. And remember, I know these people. I know the leaders of the countries. They're smart and they're cunning and they're streetwise. And they would put their people that were from prisons in there. They would put their murderers in there. And they'd put a lot of bad people. And they'd also put people that just didn't work. They put all of their welfare recipients in there. They'd send them into our country. And all of that stopped. And many of those people are now brought back. Many of the murderers, 11,888 were murderers. They say it all the time. 50% of them murdered more than one person, 2, 3, 4. It's when 7 people murdered into our country. They let them into our country. It's a sin that should never be forgotten. So it's a much different country right now. We're respected by everybody. Everybody in the world respects. We just got back from China, as you know. Some of you were with us. And President Xi was great. And he said, you're a respected country, respected all over the world. He said, you did it so fast. We did it in a very short period of time. This country was a laughingstock all over the world. For 4 years, we were a laughingstock. And now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the most successful country in the world. So
I love how he's got to say that on almost every single speech. It's like, yo, come on. Every time you talk, you got to say some shit like that. Like, come on, man.
This is very important what you're doing. And I'd like to have Will just say a few words about it specifically, please.
Yes, sir. As Rod.
It looks like we're about to get into some executive order signing.
And Councilman Navarro said this is an executive order on strengthening customs enforcement using new technologies and new approaches. The idea here is to ensure that importers
So what, AI or something?
of record, other people moving goods across our border are accurately reporting what they're bringing in, that contraband, that illegal goods aren't being brought across the border, and that goods being brought in are being accurately accounted for. for purposes of duties and tariffs and all the other things we require of importers of record. But this executive order.
Oh, there's plenty of countries that are investing in us, by the way. I mean, we're talking trillions of dollars. So you can't sit there and belittle something that, I mean, you can go ahead and belittle something that is a bullshit thing, because there is lots of bullshit that Trump does, but that's one thing that he did do well with.
We'll launch a series of bold new steps that I think we as an administration believe will result in the tightest, most controlled border in American history, following on, obviously, your success in closing the southern border and stopping the scourge of illegal immigration into the country as well. So.
What's up, Kurt?
So, Peter.
As well as Chrono, good morning to you guys. Always appreciate you guys as well. And also, hopefully you're enjoying your Friday Eve.
What kind of money do you think this involves in terms of savings to our country?
I will guarantee you the first year it'll be at least 15 billion, the next year 25, and out there's 80 to 100 billion that the tariff evaders are doing. Plus, sir, we're going to stop more of the fentanyl coming in, and we're going to crack down on counterfeits. This is good for America. This is good for the people that elected you. It's good for the country.
And we have fentanyl coming in 59% less. Cut it by a number that nobody thought was even possible. We're going to get it a lot lower than that, but we have it. And we did this in a very short period of time.
This is going to be a great one, sir.
You didn't have
this is a money maker for us. And CBP has been doing a really great job innovating on this, sir.
You've done a fantastic job. Thank you.
Appreciate it, sir.
Okay, we'll start one.
We'll fast forward through the signing. There it is,
Okay.
showing it
What
off.
else you have?
This is another executive order on
I wonder how many executive orders are going to do today. 1, 2, 3.
reforms to the federal workforce, sir. Currently, with respect to many policymaking positions in the departments and agencies across government, we lack the ability because of
Dude, just look in the Middle East. Just the Middle East alone.
existing personnel rules to effectively discipline or promote people.
Sterling Wheel, by the way, coming in with the 420 saying like button has been pummeled. Yes, sir. Thank you very much for making it rain in the chat, by the way. Very much appreciate it.
Who are in policymaking roles. This executive order follows on a number of previous executive orders. The end goal is making the federal workforce more accountable and ensuring that people,
What are you talking about if this is a repeat? I'm right here. This is live right now.
particularly in policymaking roles.
This right here, this executive order signing, what we're seeing right here, right now, this was from yesterday, though. And I explained that already if you guys weren't here for that.
Aren't unaccountable to the wishes of the administration.
And the reason for this was what? Whose idea was that?
James Sherk.
Yeah, that's what Friday Eve means. Thursday. Stupid.
Who's here from Domestic Policy Council.
Stupid. Come on, you did a great job.
Thank you, sir. It's been a long-standing problem that it's almost impossible to fire a federal employee, even in cases of serious misconduct.
Yeah, easy, Frank. That hasn't happened yet. Usually she hops on the back of my chair, and that's where you guys will be able to see her. But ever since we got the new green screen and all that, and anytime that I pull that thing up and I start getting ready to sit down, she runs like quick. She goes like, "Oh, I'm going to go sleep under the you know." And there's also, she's perched up right now, I think, above my liquor cabinet. That's where she likes to sleep sometimes.
As a result, if you have employees who are trying to undermine the wishes of the American people by pushing their own agenda or just incompetent at what they're doing, agencies have a long-standing difficult time getting rid of them.
And I wasn't calling you stupid, by the way, Nancy. I was calling Zin over here, that guy. I was calling him stupid.
Particular problem if you're in a senior policy influencing role where you're controlling the politics of the entire agency. What this does is basically treats those employees like private sector workers. They're being hired on the basis of merit and competence, but if they're messing up, then they can be removed quickly rather than taking a year or longer to get rid of them.
That's great. And you were very much involved in that?
I was, sir.
This guy's central casting. He's like perfectly casted. I'm casting away. You couldn't have done that any better. Were you nervous?
A little. Thank you, sir.
Would anybody else like to say anything? About either one? What about you? Come on over here. Come on. Can you down there?
Hell yeah, Kurt, by the way. And we don't need more remarks from that. Let's go ahead and see. I think he takes a whole bunch of questions, and because it's so long and lengthy, we can't sit here and listen to Trump just go, forever. We got a lot of stories that we got to get through, and we're already 34 minutes in, so we have to move on. We got Mr. Chrono coming in with the $10, by the way, the 10 spot, saying Mike's gato is camera shy. No shopping hub tunes in. Yes, sir. Very much appreciated. For the 10 spot, it definitely goes a long way. Thank you very much there, kind sir. All right, let's go ahead and get into, this was breaking yesterday, by the way. It says House votes to halt war, rebukes Trump on Iran. Now, we do have Trump's response from this morning. We're going to get into that, obviously, here in a few. This is just leading us up into current time right the second, right? So anyways, let's go ahead and bring this up real quick. And first, we got to go ahead and, first we haven't done a few things here. So let's do the money part.
Just get the money part done.
Give me money. Money me. Money now. Me a money needing a lot now.
And then I got something special for you, Zen.
Man, motherfucker talk all the shit they want. But you see me, I'm sitting up here snacking on this big ass sandwich, not getting a fuck. Kiss my dick, motherfucker.
Well done. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and bring this up. Oh, real quick, Ship. Before we actually get into it, Sterling just dropped a nice little 5 gifted memberships, yo. Let's fucking go. My man, thank you very much. Not only helping me, but 5 others in the IWF, man. I very much appreciate that. Thank you very much.
All right, everyone.
Let's
continue to showcase what's happening right now on the House floor as we have lawmakers continuing to speak right now after they just passed the War Powers Resolution. But let's listen in on live now.
Fine. They're there training the Lebanese armed forces. They're fine. This is not what it's about. If you read the War Powers section of 5C, it's very clear. It is in writing in the law of the War Powers Resolution, War Powers Act. So it's really important.
Real quick, Richard, she is a Maine Coon. She's a long-haired orange female. That's orange, like super long. Maine Coons have very long hair usually, and she definitely does.
We understand and not in confusion. But I want to share a so-called, Amal Khalil. This is a photo of a very, very prominent Lebanese journalist. Amal Khalil, she was targeted and killed. Amal and her colleague Zainab were reporting devastation in southern Lebanon when an Israeli drone struck her car near them, killing 2 civilians. Amal and Zainab sought shelter in a nearby building, but Israel then struck the building, trapping them under the rubble. But it gets worse. It gets worse. When rescued medical workers finally arrived at the scene to rescue Zainab, they came under Israeli fire before they could rescue Amal. They were prevented from returning to the site for hours, Mr. Speaker. Amal was dead by the time her body was recovered over 6 hours later. Amal
Holy
was only
shit.
one victim of—
Holy shit. We got Chrono coming in and gifting out 10 memberships. Let's fucking go. What is going on? You guys are getting fucking crazy, man. Chrono, thank you very much for that. We got now, there's a lot of gifted memberships, man. You guys better show up on Saturday morning for members only. It's going to be epic. It always is. Also, got Brother So Loud coming in with the 10 spot saying, hit the like on both sides. Why not? Yes, sir. Definitely goes a long way. Thank you for that 10 spot. Definitely goes a long way.
Many of the Israeli military's deliberate and discriminate bombings and targeting even of journalists in Lebanon. Israel has killed 250 journalists and media workers across Lebanon, Palestine, Yemen, even Iran. Our country should not be sharing intelligence coordinating strikes with the military that hunts and kills journalists for sport. We must end the U.S. support for this invasion. With that, Mr. Speaker, I yield 3 minutes to my good colleague and one of the co-sponsors of the resolution, my gentlewoman from Illinois.
The gentlewoman from Illinois is recognized for 3 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, again, I want to rise to point out the hypocrisy of those who would claim to care about our children while turning a blind eye to the scale of child suffering inflicted by Trump and Netanyahu's unlawful, unaccountable military operations in Lebanon.
Okay, so these guys are just going to go and whine and whine and whine and whine about the entirety of the Middle East, which I understand. I actually do understand, but they're just going to go ahead and do this the entire time, and we're not going to go ahead and waste anybody's time. You guys already know what they're going to be complaining about. Anyways, right here it says House approves War Powers Resolution to stop U.S. military action against Iran. The vote was 215 to 208. Yay being 215 and nay being 208. With Republicans Thomas Massey, Warren Davison, Brian Fitzpatrick, and Tom Barrett voting for the measure. Interesting.
From our Josh Breslow saying the House has approved the War Powers Resolution to stop U.S. military action against Iran. The vote was 215 to 208 with Republicans Thomas Massey, Warren Davidson, Brian Fitzpatrick, and Tom Barrett voting for that measure. This news just coming in. So the House for the first time today approving that War Powers Resolution that would halt the U.S. military action against Iran, defying President.
Real quick, Steve Easy asked a question. He says, Mike, have you seen the bill they tried to pass that merges our military intelligence with Israel? Yes, I did see that. And I actually spoke on that on the Diamond Effect last night. And my stance on it is, first of all, why would we be putting ourselves in a losing position? I think putting ourselves in an unnecessary contract with any alliance is a bad idea. It doesn't matter what alliance it is. I think it's a bad idea. It's putting us on an unnecessary contract. That's the way I look at it. Real quick, we got Naomi coming in with the 16 months saying love to my mods and Mike and IWF. Best on YouTube. That is a fact. Oh, my God. Thank you very much, Naomi, for your 16 months of support and love and all of that, man. It's awesome. We got Sterling Will also gifting out another fucking 10 gifted memberships. Yo, this is insane. We got so many members. You guys better show up on Saturday morning, man. Thank you very much, Sterling Will, for the 10 gifted. That is fucking awesome, bro. You guys are just killing it out there, bro. Absolutely killing it. Making it rain. All right.
Donald Trump.
So you guys know this
As
happened.
a handful of Republicans
I do want to hear what Jasmine Crockett had to say.
Join with Democrats to end the 3-month-long conflict that has reordered politics at home and abroad. This post there coming from Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett saying after nearly 3 months of playing games, Republicans finally joined Democrats to support a war powers resolution and push back on Trump's illegal, dangerous, and expensive war with Iran. Our service members have sacrificed enough, and the American people should not be forced to bankroll an unauthorized war while they are trying to afford groceries, gas, rent, and health care. It is time to end this war now. House Speaker Mike Johnson had tried to prevent an outcome that would show the mounting opposition to the war, abruptly shutting down floor action 2 weeks ago when the resolution was on the verge of approval. But displeasure has only grown as that conflict drags on. And as
Hey, Naomi, can you do me a favor? Can you drop Sterling Will's link in the chat? Because he's also another YouTuber. We got to get, you guys over there and subscribed as well.
Trump struggles to negotiate a plan for peace. The Associated Press, of course, reporting the roll call Wednesday was 215 to 208, but those next
Charlie
steps
Rose, good morning, by the way. Happy Friday Eve to you.
Are uncertain. Trump would likely reject any measure from Congress to limit his commander-in-chief authority. Still, the tally with 4 Republicans joining Democrats was a rebuke of the president's war strategy, and cheers erupted in the House chamber. So we were just listening into that debate there as they were discussing that on the House floor.
All right, so we're going to get into Trump's reaction to all of this, but that's going to be at the end. First, we got to get into, we have like 4 more stories to get through here. California tech CEO charged with supplying Iran. Now, I actually saw this a little while ago, I think. Now, I may be mixing up this whole other situation in regards to China. I might be doing that, but nonetheless, let's go ahead and bring it up and we'll quickly discuss it, by the way. And also, I think everybody needs to embrace their fuck ups now. I think this is a perfect time for us to go ahead and do it.
Don't beat yourself up over past mistakes. You are going to fuck up again in the future, quite possibly in a most spectacular fashion. Why worry about yesterday's fuck ups when you have tomorrow's fuck ups to look forward to? You are a fuck up, and fucking up is part of your growth process. Embrace the process.
Embrace thy process. And I can see that you're a very low IQ dense person, by the way. God bless you. All right, let's go ahead and get into the story here. We'll go ahead and bring this up. 3, 2, 1, bam.
A dual U.S. citizen and a CEO of a tech company has been arrested on federal charges for allegedly running a massive decade-long scheme to smuggle out sophisticated U.S. computer networking and encryption equipment to Iran's military. I do want to put this up here from the New York Post saying, the Iranian tech boss arrested at a $35 million SoCal mansion on charges of selling U.S. hardware to Iranian military and nuclear programs. So
yes, thank you, by the way, Naomi. Very much appreciated.
A major bombshell development in all of this. U.S. Attorney for L.A., Bill Esseley, saying CEO of the Iran tech company.
Oh, shit. Real quick. We got a massive donation, a whale that just came through. We have my man, Virginia Chaos, and my bad. I actually just came in, so I'm glad that because I feel like I've been scanning it the whole time, but I caught it in time. Virginia Chaos sending a humongous 60 spot on the Cash App saying, towards your lights, much appreciate your hard work. Bro, that is epic. My man. Thank you for that. Because yes, like I told you guys, I did say $320, but actually I was misspoken. They're $180 a piece. So whatever that comes out to, and I got to get 2 of them. And so I think that's like what, $360 or something. But nonetheless, thank you for the $60 to the freaking lights. I very much appreciate that. That will be set aside for the lights, by the way. Thank you for that, because we definitely need to get those ordered like ASAP.
Federal charges, equipment to the Iran's nuclear
That's
and military
humongous.
establishment going on for quite some time. Our Fox 11 team did do a report on it. Let's listen into this.
All right, we have other news right here. Developing now, the owner of this Newport Beach mansion is now in federal custody, accused of smuggling sophisticated U.S. technology to Iran's military and nuclear program. Fox 11's Nick Garcia joining us from the federal courthouse in Santa Ana with what he's learned about the case. Nick.
Right, Christine. Jamshid Gomi is that man's name. He appeared here in court just hours after being arrested, but bail has not been set. That hearing was pushed to tomorrow afternoon. That means he'll be spending tonight behind bars.
It's weird how I have this thing cranked up, but it's pretty low volume. Let me crank it on this side. I just won't use any sound effects.
Newport Coast Mansion, the center of a federal raid Wednesday morning. Agents combing through the room.
Okay, so this is new. This is a different story than I was suspecting originally when we first announced this story at the top of the hour. So
just hours after the feds arrested 63-year-old Jamshid Gomi. Prosecutors say Gomi smuggled complex American networking and encryption equipment to Iran's military and nuclear sector. Investigators also accuse Gomi of international money laundering, saying he falsified records to move more than $15 million into the U.S. The IRS Criminal Investigation Unit says Gomi reported just $20,000 in annual income and even claimed a tax credit for low-income families for 7 years, though his mansion is valued at $35 million. This case comes less than 2 months after this woman, Shamim Mafi of Woodland Hills, was arrested at LAX for allegedly trafficking arms for Iran. She is
wow, look at that. So that's what she looks like. That's her mugshot.
Mafi of Woodland Hills was arrested at LAX for allegedly trafficking arms for Iran. She is
look at all this shit, dude. What?
Still being held in federal custody. The Department of Justice
I don't like how they didn't explain what those were in the pictures.
says this most recent arrest is part of an effort to stop the illegal flow of American technology to foreign
One of the most expensive places to live ever, by the way. Newport Beach over there.
nations. Now, Gomi faces up to 20 years in federal prison. Of course, that is if he is convicted. First Assistant U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley says that Gomi's assets, including that mansion, have been seized. Live in Santa Ana, I'm Nick Garcia, Fox 11 News.
All right, a bombshell report there out of Southern California as this dual citizen now indicted on federal charges of smuggling out U.S. hardware encryption technology to the Iranians. And obviously with everything going on in the Middle East, that is very concerning. We also have this video from earlier of Jamshid Gomi being walked out by authorities of this Orange County $35 million estate. This mansion, as authorities allege, between 2011 and 2023, Gomi used personal eBay and PayPal accounts along with the front companies and freight forwarders in the UAE to illegally route controlled U.S. technology to Iran without obtaining the required licenses. These annual sales surpassed some $10 million with consumer base that included sensitive Iranian state entities. So you can see they're putting in the back of some of this. Police, the IRS also involved in this.
Damn, the IRS is also... Listen, if you got IRS agents out there, you done fucked up.
You heard from the report from Nick Garcia talking about he did claim some on the taxes despite this major scheme underway. So the indictment there, potentially a hearing now pushed until tomorrow for this. We're also hearing from U.S. Attorney out of Los Angeles, Bill Asaley, saying Gomi is accused of aiding our declared enemies by selling U.S. origin computer networking parks to Iran and earning millions of dollars in violation of U.S. sanctioned laws. Our nation laws prohibiting doing business with one of the world's largest state sponsors of terrorism must be enforced and obeyed. We will hold him accountable by seeking an appropriate prison sentence and by seizing his assets, including that $35 million Newport Beach
Wow.
mansion.
Wow, what a fucking story. That's actually was a way wilder story than I expected. All right, so we've got Israel and Lebanon agreed to a renewed ceasefire with pilot zones. That's what they're calling it. This is 10 hours ago. This came up basically in the middle of the night. And for me, anyways, where I live. And it says Israel and Lebanon revealed Wednesday, which was yesterday, that they would extend a ceasefire agreement with the latter creating new security zones where Hezbollah operatives would be banned. The deal came after the latest rounds of U.S. mediated talks hosted by the State Department. Now, I wonder if this is with the Lebanese government We'll find out if it's regards to Hezbollah, because most of the time it is with the Lebanese government anytime that there's a ceasefire. Originally, when we reported on the whole ceasefire that was going on in 2024, I think, 2025, something like that, I think it was 24. We reported on that, and we showed, hey, they're not actually in a ceasefire with Hezbollah, the resistance group. There's a ceasefire with the Lebanese government, so the Lebanese government has to get their resistance group under control. And holy shit, bro, what? We got Chrono gifting out a hundo spot, bro. And by the way, I've only had, I think, one $100 donation ever on here, so that's massive. By the way, Shifty Shiva Dora for my pogo, man. I had to blow up your ears for that, and I forgot that the sound was all the way up, so I brought myself down. But hey, bro, thank you so much. Holy shit,
denied,
my man. I very much appreciate the 100 spot, bro. That's amazing. Thank you for that. All right, let's go ahead and bring up this this right here real quick. And also, I got to give a cool little clip for that, by the way. I gotta find something for you. Shit, you know what I mean? Well, let's force everybody else to obey.
Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate. Maybe you need to donate some freaking money. Donate some freaking.
Chrono, bro, he says, ouch, I feel so old. Bro, don't know the Shifty 5 son. No, I don't, unfortunately. And also, another fun fact about me is don't feel too bad, because I'm not involved in any of the like pop culture as well as like movies and shit. I've never watched movies, for instance. I've watched like 15 movies in my entire life. Ask anybody that's really close to me. I can't watch movies. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of times people will make references to movies and shows and stuff like that. I'm like, I don't know shit about it. You know what I mean?
You're watching live now from Fox. My name is Alexandra Goldberg. Let's take a live look in Tel Aviv, Israel. It is the early morning hours as President Trump insists negotiations with Iran are going well and could lead to a deal this weekend. The U.S. launched new defensive strikes on the Islamic Republic after Tehran fired drones and missiles at Kuwait. This as the president expressed frustration with Israel over incursions into Lebanon, which threaten a fragile U.S.-backed ceasefire. Let's hear from Fox News national correspondent Griff Jenkins, who has more from the White House.
If it happens, it could happen like over the weekend.
Despite Iranian reports that peace talks have ceased, President Trump says Tehran has not left the negotiating table, and a deal could soon come. The president also said,
and I really do hope that that is true, because diplomatically, I mean, on a diplomacy level, I hope that we can get this over with, where we don't have to do any more violent acts, right? That's what I really do hope, because Iran basically came out recently and said, well, we're separating, we're pausing all diplomatic talks with the United States and Israel because Israel was attacking Lebanon, as you guys know. So anyways.
As Iran is
but because of that pressure, Israel and Lebanon have agreed to again reinsert their ceasefire.
Agreed to one of his red lines.
And if they sign the agreement, they will have agreed to, we will not have a nuclear weapon.
Iran has long maintained its nuclear program is for civilian purposes only, a claim heavily disputed by Iran's enriching uranium to 60%. With questions remaining.
Virginia Chaos, I already know that you've been a member, but it shows that you're a new member on my side. I don't know why it does that sometimes, but Virginia Chaos, thank you so much for re-upping your membership, my man. I very much appreciate that. You guys have made it rain this fucking stream, man.
Over what will happen to the so-called nuclear dust.
As of this moment, it's agreed that we will go in with them. We will get it and we will destroy it. It will be destroyed.
Today, the world's leading nuclear watchdog issued a warning over the dangers posed by Iran's inventory of near bomb-grade uranium. Talks
yeah, see, 2006 wasn't that long ago.
Have also been challenged by Israel's increased fighting in Lebanon. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu speaking out after a contentious call with President Trump on Monday.
Sometimes we have, as in the best of families, you have these
I have not seen this interview.
tactical disagreements. We always find a way to work them out.
President Trump also
I hadn't seen that, by the way. That's the first time I saw that that little clip from Bibi.
downplayed the tensions this afternoon.
They've been a great partner. Bibi Netanyahu has been, for me, a great partner. For other people, not so good. For me, he's been very good.
Overnight, U.S. forces launched new self-defense strikes after Iran fired missiles and drones at Kuwait.
And I shared this video right here on social media yesterday. As soon as we got off the live stream, I actually saw this being posted by Reuters. I think that they're the ones that posted it. But nonetheless, that was from inside of the airport, the biggest airport in Kuwait that was hit yesterday by drones, and as well as they did say that there was missile impact.
Launched new self-defense strikes after Iran fired missiles and drones at Kuwait,
Look at
hitting
that.
the country's airport, testing a fragile ceasefire. In the Strait of
And they didn't
Hormuz
even show the whole thing.
remains closed, as Secretary of State Marco Rubio tells lawmakers keeping it shut isn't benefiting Iran.
The blockade is keeping them from hundreds of millions of dollars a day in revenue.
Rubio faced heated pressure from House Democrats in a hearing that at
Good morning, Logical Spark. Hopefully you're enjoying your thirsty Thursday morning. I definitely know that we are.
times veered off topic.
You couldn't admit that the shoes the president bought you were too big.
We're talking about shoes. Are you guys kidding me? I mean, is this the Foreign Affairs Committee or is this like a circus? What is this?
I like when he said, "What is this? A dunk tank?" I like when he referenced it as that.
4 House Republicans joined Democrats Wednesday to rebuke the president's war, passing the Iran War Powers Resolution. It now heads to the Senate, but even if the Senate passed it and it landed on the president's desk, he would most likely veto it or any other effort to curtail his authority. At the White House, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
I hate when they end
Fox
like that.
News correspondent Griff Jenkins with that report. As you just heard, the State Department said the United States helped broker a ceasefire deal between Israel and Lebanon. Take a look at this social media post from the Associated Press saying Israel and Lebanon say they agreed to renew their fragile ceasefire and create Lebanese security zones that will exclude Hezbollah. Taking another live look here at Tel Aviv, Israel, as we continue to talk about the situation in
Reuters. Thank you for that. I always say it wrong. I've always said it wrong. I'm a retard, though, and I'm illiterate, so it's great.
the Middle East. Of course, this ceasefire deal comes as Iran and the U.S. exchange strikes, testing that fragile ceasefire amid peace negotiations between the two countries. There's a lot to discuss. Let's bring in retired Marine Intelligence Officer, National Security.
We always love hearing from Hal Kempfer. He is a little long-winded. He can be sometimes, but man, he is super involved in the, he really does have the connections on the inside. So I really do appreciate the way that he comes on as an analyst. He just gives the facts, and I really do appreciate
the
that.
Analyst and host of the Strat podcast, Hal Kempfer. Hal, thanks so much for joining us on Live Now from Fox.
Thanks, Alexandra.
So let's start with the Israel-Lebanon ceasefire. Will this have any bearing on diplomatic talks between the U.S. and Iran?
Well, it might. It might. It depends on where they stop firing. The big issue is, will Hezbollah stop firing? And that's where you get the Lebanon, Israel agreeing to extend the ceasefire. That's good.
Yes, it is good, but it's with the Lebanese government. It's not directly with Hezbollah, right? So they're not negotiating these ceasefires with like Hezbollah leaders. They're doing it with the Lebanese government. So now it's up to the Lebanese government to kind of get their people under control.
Says that the government of Lebanon is still on board with working with Israel to try and resolve this thing. However, the issue is not the Lebanese government firing anything. The issue is Hezbollah. And as part of that, they've agreed that they have to disarm Hezbollah. And Israel is not going to pull back. They've got forces north of the Litani River. I don't think they're going to go all the way up into Beirut. That was something that they look like they're going to do. But certainly, it's good to have that ceasefire in place. Now, the Iranians have consistently tried to throw Lebanon in into the mix of things that have to be part of the U.S.-Iran negotiated ceasefire. We've been resisting that, although with that said, there was that very tense phone call between Netanyahu and President Trump that was talked about, where the president used some rather direct terms to show his frustration, and that was focused on Lebanon, the situation there. So I don't know if the U.S. position might shift, but as of right now, we've been resistant against Lebanon being part of the discussion with the ceasefire with Iran.
Hal, if you will you take us into the minds of these Israeli and Lebanese officials? How do both sides ensure that this ceasefire will be different from the shaky ceasefire that both parties agreed to a month ago?
Yeah, and then before that, the ceasefire that was agreed in 2024.
Well, the thing that's really different is that, and I've worked with Lebanese government officials on security issues in the past, and generally speaking, they're all pretty frustrated with Hezbollah, but Hezbollah is a major political party. They have a lot of following. Shiite Muslims are a large percentage of the population, not the majority, but a very large percentage. So they kind of have to defer to Hezbollah to some degree, but Hezbollah is the one that is basically as a proxy of Iran. They're firing missiles and drones into Israel. They're the ones that have this. That's why Israel is inside of Lebanon. It's not the government of Lebanon. It's Hezbollah. And so this is kind of a historic first, is not today, but what's happening in the last few months is the government of Lebanon has really taken some political risk and said, no, we're going to weigh in to get Hezbollah disarmed, demilitarized, to end this threat to the government of Lebanon.
Well, that's interesting that the Lebanese government has now taken that stance, right?
And end this threat to Israel. And they've been working together. And I think that is really interesting that there is this symbiotic relationship.
What's up, Vardy? I like that name.
Between the Lebanese government and the Israeli government, and they both see Hezbollah.
And that's true, by the way. We are in overtime, and make sure you guys send in your donations because, as you guys know, no tax on tips and no tax on overtime. So W to everybody.
Oh, shit! Oh, shit!
Let's get it in.
Exactly the same way. And that's a real shift in the mindset of the Lebanese government as they see Hezbollah as
oh shit, brother Pitbull, my man over there across the pond. We always appreciate you, by the way. He says, remember to rev that like button and drop the clutch and share the on the share button to wheel spin this show out of here. That's facts, by the way. Thank you for hanging out with us. Hopefully you're enjoying your afternoon.
this huge threat that just has to be dealt with.
And we did get a statement from the Israeli ambassador to the U.S. I'm going to put this up here on our screen, saying today's talks were another important step in the process to facilitate peace between Israel and Lebanon. But make no mistake, if Hezbollah thinks this outcome gives them immunity, they are wrong. The ceasefire is entirely contingent on a complete cessation of fire towards Israel and the complete dismantling of Hezbollah and its terror infrastructure.
All right, so we'll leave it at that. Let's go ahead and get into these other stories here that we have to get through. Trump to nominate Todd Blanche as permanent attorney general. Now, I hear that this is basically finalized. It's going to be finalized here very soon if it's not already. But
you're watching live now from Fox. My name is Alex.
Now, this came out just 7 hours ago. Okay.
Sandra Goldberg, and now we have breaking details on a soon-to-be permanent addition to the president's cabinet. That's according to President Donald Trump. Take a look here at a social media post from the Associated Press saying Trump says he's nominating Todd Blanche, his former personal lawyer, to serve as Attorney General. Now, the Associated Press reporting here, President Donald Trump said today that he will nominate Todd Blanche to serve as Attorney General, tapping his former personal lawyer who has aggressively pursued the Republican president's agenda while leading the Justice Department in an acting role. The Associated Press continuing to say here that President Trump said at a dinner at the White House that he plans to nominate Blanche formally on Thursday, tomorrow, according to a video of the event.
Which is today.
And posted on social media by a White House aide. We do have that video. Let's play it out for you.
He's acting Attorney General. Tomorrow I'm instructing Dan and everybody else that's involved in that very complicated process, which is going to go, I think, very quickly, that we are going to make him permanent Attorney General.
Taking another look here at Blanche, as you just heard in that video, the president says we are going to make him permanent Attorney General. Now, the Associated Press continues here. Blanche sought quickly to position himself as the favorite for the permanent job after Pam Bondi's firing in April, accelerating investigations into Trump's foes and announcing a nearly $1.8 billion fund meant to compensate the president's allies for alleged political persecution. The proposed fund created a bipartisan firestorm that forced the Justice Department to scrap the idea earlier this week in an extraordinary about-face. The Associated Press says Blanche was brought into the Justice Department as Deputy Attorney General and was elevated after Bondi's ousting over her failed efforts to prosecute Trump's perceived political opponents. Blanche insisted he wasn't auditioning for the permanent post, but made clear through splashy moves since taking the reins his intent on proving his loyalty to Trump. A story here on Live Now from Fox we will certainly follow, especially tomorrow.
It's what we do. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. Is now Trump reacting after military action halted in Iran. Now this comes out, of course, today, by the way. And as you guys know, there's a brief halt, at least in the House of Representatives, a vote that went through and passed. So let's go ahead and bring this up. 3, 2, 1, bam.
Following the latest when it comes to the war between the U.S. and Iran. Now, we brought you the news yesterday that the House, for the first time ever, passed a war powers resolution to limit U.S. military operations in Iran. President Trump has just issued a new statement via Truth Social. He says this, quote, yesterday in a meaningless vote, the House voted 4 bad Republicans and all of the Democrats to limit my war powers right in the middle of my final negotiations to end the war with the Islamic Republic of Iran. Who would do such an unpatriotic thing? They know where the negotiations stand. The Democrats are fueled by Trump derangement syndrome. They would rather have our country fail than give me another of.
Yeah, Virginia Chaos, there's actually a handful of ways that he can go about this and still be there and do what he's trying to do. So
many victories. The 4 Republicans.
I say a lot of what is happening in Congress right now is kind of like theatrics, right? Like it's all kind of like symbolic almost, right?
That's a whole other story. They're grandstanders. They should be ashamed of themselves. MAGA. President DJT. Want to bring us out to a live image that we
Well, there's no doubt that this Iran war is very unpopular.
Have of the Capitol building as I read some more of this latest development. So again, we brought you that news yesterday that the House for the first time approved a war powers resolution that would halt the U.S. military action against Iran, defying President Trump as a handful of Republicans joined with Democrats to end the 3-month-long conflict that has reordered politics at home and abroad. The Associated Press continues on to say this, that House Speaker Mike Johnson had tried to prevent an outcome that would show the mounting opposition to the war, abruptly shutting down floor action 2 weeks ago when the resolution was on the verge of approval. But displeasure has only grown as the conflict drags on and as President Trump struggles to negotiate a plan for peace. The roll call called Wednesday was 215 to 208, but the next steps are uncertain.
Which is that's a pretty fair, fairly close vote.
President Trump would likely reject any measure from Congress to limit his commander-in-chief.
I can't remember if it was 5 or 6 Republicans that voted for it.
Chief authority. Still, the tally, with 4 Republicans joining Democrats, was a rebuke of the current war strategy. And we know it's the 4th time the House has tried to curb the U.S. war against Iran. The Senate advanced its own war powers resolution last month when a handful of GOP senators broke ranks with the president in a rare show of political pushback from the party. Each time the Democrats have pushed forward the war powers resolution, the vote tallies have inched higher as political unease with the U.S. war continues. President Trump had campaigned for the White House on a promise to end U.S. entanglements abroad and focus more on domestic issues, but the war has shifted attention back to the Middle East. Want to bring us out just one more time here to that latest post via Truth Social from the president.
I didn't hear that.
He says again that yesterday in a meaningless vote, the House voted 4 bad Republicans and all of the Democrats.
So it wasn't as many as I thought. It's only 4 Republicans.
To limit my war powers right in the middle of my final negotiations to end the war with the Islamic Republic. Who would do such an unpatriotic thing? They know where the negotiations stand. We'll be right back.
All right. So listen, ladies and gentlemen, I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough for allowing me to do this Monday through Friday. And then, of course, we've got members only on Saturday to be able to give back, man. So listen, I can't thank each and every single one of you guys enough, obviously, for your engagement, your donations. Today was a humongous day, by the way. Chrono, thank you very much. Thank you to Sterling. Thank you to all of you guys, man. Virginia Chaos, man, you guys show so much love and support, man. I'm very honored to be able to have your guys' support like that. Brother So Loud, as well as Naomi. Thank you guys. So listen, stick around. We're going to be rating our buddy Flow State. He's on his other account named Powder Dusty. Make sure you guys go over there and let him know we're coming through with the Mike Ball raid. He's great entertainment over there. I definitely enjoy watching his show. So anyways, until tomorrow morning for more of the world's madness. God bless everyone. We'll see you guys very soon. And much love, honor, respect, everybody.
From the depths of darkness, a voice emerges, a host with a fire burning in his soul, with a heart of steel and a spirit unbroken. He rides on two wheels, ready to claim his throne. Amidst the chaos and the thunderous roar,